Now, I'm sure this challenge has already been done many times before, but I just really need an excuse to play through this game again. This challenge has one main goal: to beat Leon without catching any Pokemon. Now, if you know Pokemon Sword and Shield like I do, you know this challenge is impossible due to a certain giant space hand thing. However, for the sake of this challenge, we're just gonna say that Leon or Hop catches it for us at the end instead. As for in-game trades, well, I don't believe any of them are possible. If they were, they would be technically allowed since it's not actually catching a Pokemon. As for my stats on DLC, seeing as I'd have less than 10 options for my team composition otherwise, I'm allowing myself to go to the Isle of Armor, which will practically double the number of Pokemon we can get with a certain side quest. However, I will not be going to the Crown Tundra, as that is more required captures, and the only two gift Pokemon are legendaries, and that feels a bit like cheating. I'm still going to be using Cubfu though, since I want to beat the Isle of Armor, and I don't want to do it the cheesy, unintended way. If you want to see me test how many Pokemon you need to catch to complete the Crown Tundra, let me know in the comments below and I'll do it. Anyways, without further ado, on to the video. Now that the explanation's out of the way, we start the game, grab our stuff, and notice how much better the game looks than people give it credit for. I mean, I know there was that one tree, but still, this scenery is beautiful. We then meet up with Hop, go to his house, and head over to Wedgehurst Station to meet Leon. Once we bring him back, he shows us off the Galar starters and they play around like usual. If you couldn't already tell by, well, everything, we're choosing Score Bunny, leaving Hop to choose the inferior groupie. We named Score Bunny Ace as a reference to my first sword save Cinderace. After that, on the next day, Hop decides to challenge us to an unfair 2-on-1. However, as a Pokemon professional, I can easily handle it. I tackle his Wooloo to the ground and then burn down his Grookey, all while vibing to the upbeat banger Hop's theme is. I'm glad that everyone can at least agree on Galar having some of the best Pokemon music there is. Leon then sends us off to the Pokemon Research Lab to get a Pokedex, but we get distracted by a Wooloo breaking down the fence to the Slumbering Weld. We then chase after the Wooloo and enter the Slumbering Weld. Now normally, this place tantalizes you with Pokemon you can't catch yet, but since we can't catch them anyway, there's no such feeling. We then run into the legendary dog illusion and proceed to black out. But hey, at least we managed to save the Wooloo, or rather, Leon did. We then say goodbye to our mom and head off for Wedgehurst. When we arrive, we regroup with Leon and head inside the Pokemon Research Lab. Within the Research Lab, we meet Sonia and Yamper and hear the amazing song that is her theme. Sonia gives us the Pokedex app, and I take some time to admire the detail and beauty of the lab. Hop then shows us the Pokemon Center, but we skip the explanation. We then spend a ton of money just updating our look. Hop then tells us about the gym challenge and sends us to the professor to join it. Leon then tells us how to catch Pokemon, a completely useless skill for this run, and we sell the Pokeballs he gives us to make back some of the money we spent on clothing. We're sure to battle all the wild trainers on Route 2, since wild Pokemon just seem like a meaningless hassle due to our inability to catch them. Thanks to all these trainer battles, our Score Bunny grows to level 9, and we then meet Professor Magnolia at her place. We then beat Hop in another battle, and Leon endorses us into the gym challenge. We then get Dynamax bands from the Wishing Stars that fell after our battle with Hop, and head back to Wedgehurst. At Wedgehurst Station, we get camping gear from our mom, and head off to the wild area. Honestly, although the trees do look a bit rough, the landscape isn't even that bad. After seeing the glory that is the wild area, we are officially unleashed onto the world with nothing but a Score Bunny. For now. After strolling through the wild area, we end up in Monostoke. Sonia introduces us to league cards at the Pokemon Center, which are honestly just super cool. I buy a new bag and head for Monostoke Stadium. Leon hands us a piece of charcoal, which we give to Ace to boost his fire-type attacks. We register for the gym challenge and choose number 10 as our official number. Then, heading for Badoo Drop-In, we run into Team Yell. It seems a little dicey at first, but we're able to manage to beat them. Luckily, Marnie shows up to put a stop to Team Yell's shenanigans for now. The next day, the opening ceremony begins and we meet the 8 gym leaders we'll face during this challenge, or rather, 7 of them. The whole scene is so hype, you can feel the energy in the air. We unlock the flying taxi after the ceremony and spend way too much time designing a league card. We then try to go to the Isle of Armor, but unfortunately the only way to get there is to catch a Galarian Slowpoke, which we obviously can't do. At this point, I was freaking out. Without the Isle of Armor, I couldn't get more than 2 Pokemon until after the 3rd gym, and all the Pokemon I would get would be extremely low leveled at the time I obtained them. This completely changes the run. The DLC is practically inaccessible now, unless I were to cheat. But it was never about the challenge, since we already discussed the canon answer was no. This whole time, I just wanted an excuse to play my favorite Pokemon games again. So, I got an idea. What if I just tried to avoid catching Pokemon whenever possible and not use any Pokemon I caught? I mean, that was already the plan for Eternatus after all, so what makes this Slowpoke any different? You know what, we'll just use the same excuse as last time and say Clara catches it for me. Now, while this may compromise the integrity of the run, but like I said before, what integrity? So I go to the ball guy, get his Pokeball, go back, give the Pokeball to Clara, aka hand the controller to someone else who would prefer to remain anonymous, and have them take the shot. Suddenly, I woke up. I didn't know where I was or what just happened, but when I checked my party, there was still only Ace the Score Bunny. I checked my map and I had somehow made it to the Isle of Armor. I decided to head towards the building in the distance which I recognized as the Master Dojo, when an Alolan Diglett popped up. Suddenly, it all came back to me. The tough battle with Clara, my mission, and how these Diglets were the key to my success. I then found 4 more Diglett and received an Alolan Meowth for my efforts. I named her Ebony and continued on to the Master Dojo. After finding more Diglett, we challenge Hop to a battle and begin trekking through Route 3. Along the way, Ace evolves into a Raboot and we meet up with Sonia, who gives us an escape rope. We then begin traveling through Galar Mine. There, we encounter Bede and battle him. Since Ebony hasn't grown to a usable level yet, we basically still only have Ace for now, but we can push through thanks to how much of a bop Bede's theme is. Oh, and I guess those super potions we found in the mine helped. On Route 4, a Wooloo runs over us and we meet Milo. Other than that, we arrive in Turffield and fly over to the Isle of Armor to get some business done there. We meet the people of the dojo, like Honey, her son Hyde, and her husband and the dojo master, Mustard. Hyde gives us the EXP charm, which should be useful for leveling up our team, like Ebony. We battle and defeat Mustard after a tough battle and prepare for the first trial. As well as finding a ton of Diglett, we also defeat the free super fast Slowpoke. Honey then gives us a choice between choosing either Bulbasaur or Squirtle to add to our team. We choose Bulbasaur because we get water type coverage sooner. We name the Bulbasaur Bulby and head to Turffield to take on the first gym. Okay, we actually do some grinding first and then take on the first gym. During the gym challenge, Bulby evolves into Ivysaur, meaning it'll be usable very soon. Entering the fight with Milo, our main plan is to just sweep with Ace. We begin the fight and hear the absolutely epic theme that is the gym leader theme. We one-shot the Gossifleur with Flame Charge and Dynamax Ace for the Eldegoss. We hit Eldegoss with a Max Flare and it counterattacked with a Max Overgrowth. However, it doesn't hurt that much, and a second Max Flare easily finishes it off, winning us our first gym badge. We receive the Magical Leaf TM from the gym staff and return to the Isle of Armor to collect some Pokemon as a reward for our Diglett hunting efforts. Thanks to this, we claim Dreamy the Slowpoke and Arctic the Alolan Vulpix. We can enter a double battle on Route 5 with the News People, which Ace sweeps with some help from Ebony. We then receive Punk the Toxel from a breeder in the daycare on Route 5, and find Team Yell hassling some old man for his bike. The first battle is easy thanks to Double Kick being both of the Grunt's Pokemon. Thanks to Ace being really strong, the second Grunt, Sableye, is no sweat either. As a thanks, the old man gives us his bike so we can finally be faster. Hop then challenges us to a battle. We double kick his Wooloo, flame charge his Quarter Squire, take a peck from it, and use another flame charge on it. We then use flame charge on the Thwackey with Hop using Razor Leaf to counterattack. After taking minimal damage and Hop healing, 2 more flame charges take the Thwackey out. After defeating Hop, we enter Holberry. Immediately after arriving at Holberry, we head back to the Isle of Armor to take on the second trial. We travel through the Forest of Focus and the Training Lowlands, finding a ton of Diglett along the way. We find some more Diglett, including all 3 of the ones in Warm-Up Tunnel, and Clara challenges us to a battle for some max mushrooms. We take out the Slowpoke with a few flame charges and decide to send out Dreamy to take care of the coughing. However, due to being underleveled, it faints, so we send Ace back in and hit it with another flame charge. The Whirlipede goes down the same way. After the fight, Ebony evolves into Persian and we take the max mushrooms. We then enjoy some max soup and prepare to take on the second gym. After some off-camera grinding, we prepare to take on the Holberry gym. In the future, I'll probably just substitute grinding with a ton of rare candies, but I haven't traded them over yet. Anyways, we enter the War Gym, and I remember how much I struggled with this puzzle during my first playthrough. It's not as bad as I remembered though, and the gym is actually really creative. We then begin the fight with Nessa. We start by using Bulby to one-shot her Goldeen, so in comes the Arrokuda. It's able to get a bite off on us, but Seed Bomb one-shots it as well. She then Dynamaxes her Dreadnought as we Dynamax Bulby. We tank a Max Strike and then one-shot it with a 4x super effective Max Overgrowth, winning us our second gym badge. We then get Whirlpool as a reward for being the gym, and move on through Galar Mine number 2 after a brief meeting with Rosa and Sonia over some seafood. In the mines, we meet up with Bead, where we Flame Charge sweep him with an admittedly over-leveled Ace. We then take on some Team Yell grunts with Hop. With a few double kicks and a sacrificial Lulu, Team Yell is toast. We then beat up with Kabu at the end of the mine and return to Monostoke. We then head over to the Isle of Armor to finish off our final battle with Clara. We Flame Charge the Scorpion to ashes and then take a turn to heal from the toxic spite this cheating Sorry, the enemy set up before the battle. We then Flame Charge the Weezing way too many times until it finally goes down. We then heal as she sends out Whirlipede and promptly Flame Charge it to the ground. We then switch out Ace for Ebony as Clara sends out Slowbro and we both Dynamax our Pokemon. We hit the Slowbro with a Max Darkness, lowering its special defense, but the Max Geyser it retaliates with really hurts. Another Max Darkness gets it really low, we just need to survive one more hit and not get Quick Drawed on the next turn. Luckily, it works out and we take the Slowbro down with 2 HP remaining. Clara's cheating ways are busted and she gets 6 months of community service. Wait. What? Talk about a light sentence! Mustard then introduces us to Kubfu, the secret armor of the Master Dojo, and we add it to our team, replacing Ace so that it doesn't get too overleveled. We named the Kubfu one-shot as a nod to the Urshifu style we'll be choosing. We then do some grinding and battle Marnie at Badoo Drop In. We switch into Dreamy and Zed and headbutt the Krogunk after tanking a Sucker Punch. We then Seed Bomb the Scraggy with Bulby, tank a headbutt, and then Seed Bomb again. The Morpeko bites Bulby and we use Seed Bomb. Another bite gets Bulby low and we flinch. After heal stalling due to more flinches, we finally take the Morpeko down. The next day, we go on to face the third gym challenge. Luckily, this gym respawns Pokemon after we kill them, so we get to clear it after many battles. For the Kabu fight, we decide to lead with Ebony due to it knowing Power Gem. By the way, I forgot how cool this arena looks. We hit the Ninetales with a Power Gem and it burns us with Will-O-Wisp. Another Power Gem is able to take it out. We Power Gem the Arcanine and it uses Agility, following up with a Flame Wheel to get us low. After that, we take it out with a Power Gem. I stay in with Ebony for the Scourge, but don't Dynamax to save it for Dreamy in case this goes wrong. Since it's 4 times weak to Rock, if we hit it with a Power Gem first, we should one-shot it and win. Or so I thought. We deal half damage and Max Flutterby takes Ebony out. We Dynamax Dreamy and try to use Max Geyser to reduce the Fire-type's strength. However, a Max Flutterby one-shots us before we even get the chance. We send in Punk to try and nuzzle it, but G-Max sent Inferno takes it out first. We send in Bulby as its Dynamax wears off, hoping a takedown can finish it. We don't get one-shot, but the takedown only leaves it on a quarter health. Another Flame Wheel finishes Bulby off. We desperately send in one shot, and it luckily coils, but the aerial ace we use still doesn't kill. Then, like all the rest, one shot goes down. We send in Arctic as the last stand, and use a priority Ice Shard to deal a bit more damage before eventually falling with Centiskorch in the red and the Hail Arctic setup killing it if it could just survive one more turn. If only I Dynamaxed Ebony. No, I'm not thinking like that. I'm going to do this successfully. I'm not giving up. Attempt 2. We Power Gem the Ninetales, it burns us once again, and we take it out the exact same way. We Power Gem the Arcanine, it uses Agility. We use Power Gem first this time, and take it out. We Dynamax Ebony as Kabu Gigantamax's Centiskorch. We use Max Rockfall, and it still doesn't one-shot. The Centiskorch uses Max Flutterby to take out Ebony once again, and it kills Centiskorch, and we're able to win after that, claiming our third badge. You, Kabu. After the fight, we obtain the Will-O-Wisp TM from the gym staff. Annoying old man, Nessa, and Milo send us off, and we return to the wild area. We then stop by the Pokemon Nursery to get a fly point and the people who will give us the fossils. We then travel around the Isle of Armor for a bit, finding more Diglett and getting closer with Kubfu. A bit more of that, and we gain the ability to take on the Tower of Darkness or the Tower of Waters. We then meet up with the Alolan Diglett guide to obtain Snowball the Alolan Sandshrew, Stormslide the Alolan Raichu, and Soul Blaze the Alolan Marowak. After that, I went over to a friend's place to trade to Evolve Dreamy and get some more fossils. Many dead birds later, we eventually get all the fossils we need. We then trade them over as well as a ton of rare candies to help me with grinding. We also ended up in Hammerlock, but didn't end up doing any of the plot progression because I wasn't recording. After getting a new hat and receiving a lore dump, we head off to Route 6. After stopping Team Miel and grinding a bit, with Bulby evolving along the way, we unlocked 4 new Pokemon thanks to fossil reviving. With Carolys's help, we revived Pity the Dracovish, Mix and Match the Arctovish, Thunderstomp the Dracozolt, and Cubchoo the Arctozolt. After another battle, we arrive in Stowonside and challenge Hop to a battle. When he sends in Cramorant, we switch to Bulby and Petal Blizzard after taking a Pluck. After taking another Pluck, the second Petal Blizzard takes it out. Hop then sends in Silicocra, so we heal and it paralyzes us with a Glare. It goes for Dig, so we heal the paralysis when it hits us and then one-shot it with a Petal Blizzard. We switch back into Ace as Hop sends out Flacky, and we Flame Charge it, causing it to retaliate with a hyped-up Razor Leaf, and it misses. After that embarrassing moment for Hop, another Flame Charge finishes the job. He then sends in Toxel, who we hit with a Flame Charge, getting paralyzed by static and nuzzled afterward. We hit the next Flame Charge regardless of the paralysis, taking it out and defeating Hop. We then go to the Isle of Armor to find some Diglett. After that, we do some grinding where Ace evolves into Cinderace. We then take on the Stowonside Gym. During the Gym Challenge, Punk evolves into Toxtricity. After the Gym Challenge, we begin our battle with B. We start by taking out the Hitmontop with Zen Headbutts, taking a lot of damage along the way. We then send an Ace to double kick the Pangoro. The Night Slash counterattack hurts, but we can handle it. We double kick it again as it uses Work Up, double kicking once more to take it out. Send it back in Dreamy for the Surfetch. It detects our first Zen Headbutt, and our second, but it Sword Stances for the third, and we finally hit it, doing most of its HP. Brutal Swing that decimates Dreamy, so we send in Bulby. Petal Blizzard takes out the Surfetch, and we stay in with Bulby for the Machamp. We don't Dynamax, instead saving it for Ace, who is definitely faster, instead using Leech Seed to build up chip damage on Machamp. A Max Strike doesn't take us out, so we use Poison Powder for even more chip after tanking another thanks to Leech Seed. However, we missed, so we sack Bulby to heal Ace to full, letting him fall to a Max Darkness. We then send in Ace as the Gigantamax for the Machamp ends. Checkmate. We Dynamax Ace and use Max Flare to take out the Machamp. We shake hands with B and get the 4th gym badge. We then get revenge from the gym staff and give Ace some Max Soup as a reward for being the gym, allowing him to Gigantamax now. We then take a break to find some more Diglett. We then catch B destroying a national treasure and proceed to battle him. Soul Blaze starts by Shadow Boning the Duosion, then does the same to the Galfarita, then the Ponyta, and yeah, this was a sweep. Well, actually, Soul Blaze got crit Psybeamed by the Hatchrum. We then use Storm Slide to Thunderbolt as he hits us with a Dazzling Gleam. Another Thunderbolt finishes the Hatchrum off and almost certainly sends B to jail. Wait, what? Just getting expelled from the gym challenge for that? Does Galar as a whole just not punish their criminals in any meaningful way? We then watch Amiro crumble in a way that Scarlet and Violet could never pull off. They'd probably just fade to black as everything crumbled, but these games at least have the courage to actually show it. We then roll credits and continue on to Balamb Leia. We begin grinding in Glimwood Tangle, fighting any trainers we can to get more XP. We then arrive in Balamb Leia. It's a beautiful town. I just wish it was a bit larger to enhance that beauty. We then found a few more Diglett and took on the Tower of Darkness. We're able to sweep through the first 4 floors with ease. We then must take on Mustard on floor 5. We hit Mustard's Cubchoo with an Aerial Ace and he counterattacks the same way. However, another Aerial Ace finishes off the opposing Cubchoo, and after an honestly adorable cutscene, ours evolves into Urshifu. We then swiftly transition into a Diglett collecting montage. After some digging duo grinding, we get an Ice Stone to evolve Snowball into Sandslash. A bit more of that and we get another to evolve Arctic into Ninetales. We then sell a ton of stuff we've collected throughout our journey to become rich. After a ton of grinding, we then take on the Balamb Leia gym. In order to take on the challenge, we also have to audition for the role of the new gym leader, which due to our lack of type theming, we have absolutely absolutely zero qualification for. We get question 1 right and destroy the first trainer with Punk. We get question 2 right and do the same for the second trainer. We get the third question right and more of the same. Thus, the Opal battle begins. We discharge Weezing and it hits us with a sludge. We misclick and get the wrong answer for the first question, get punished with a sludge, and kill the Weezing with a discharge. We send in Ace as Opal sends in Mawile and take it out with a Pyro Ball. We then send in the Storm Slide against Togekiss and hit it with a Thunderbolt. However, it uses Draining Kiss to recover its HP. We then get the second question correct and another Thunderbolt takes out the Togekiss. We Dynamax Punk and hit the G-Max El Creamy with a Max Ooze. It counters with a G-Max Finale, but the second Max Ooze takes it out. Also, I may have been a bit overloved for this gym on accident since I forgot what Opal's highest level Pokemon is. Ah well, we still get the badge. We then head over to Hammerlock and watch Bede get violated, harassed, and kidnapped by an old woman. Ignoring that, we then claim Ostrich the Executor from the Diglett guy. Then we meet up with Sonia and something else gets destroyed. This always seems to happen when we meet up. Pop then decides that now's the time to get his butt kicked. We score a goal into his Trevenant, then use one shot to Brick Break his Snorlax as it counters with a Body Slam. Another Brick Break takes out the Snorlax. We then send in Dreamy to take a Bug Bite from and Surf on his Heatmore. We then use Ace to Pyro Ball his Boltons to the ground and do the same for his Rillaboom. We then grind against a ton of trainers, and when I say a ton, I mean a ton. And we then make it to Sirchester. Ding dong, it's time for another gym. The gym challenge is really cool, but the ground looks weirdly edible. Yeah, I do not know what I was on about when I was writing this script. It doesn't look edible at all. Well, maybe a little bit. Never mind. Anyways, we clear the gym and prepare to fight Gordy. We start the battle by hitting the Barbaracle with a Brick Break, and it sets up with Shell Smash. It then hits us with a Razor Shell, but another Brick Break takes it out. We then hit the Stone Journer with a Brick Break as it sets up Wonder Room. We then take out the Stone Journer with another Brick Break. We then hit the Shuckle with Brick Break as it uses Rock Tomb. The same interaction then happens again. Thankfully, with one more Brick Break, the Shuckle finally goes down. We then send in Dreamy as Gordy goes for Colossal. Gordy Gigantamaxes his Colossal as we Dynamax Dreamy. Gordy hits us with a G-Max Vocalin, but we counter with a Max Geyser which one-shots the Colossal. We then claim our 6th gym badge from Gordy, as well as the TM for Rock Tomb. Sonia then meets up with us and we get some lunch. Hop then defiles a sacred site by challenging us. We Brick Break the double, use Pump to discharge the Corviknight, send one shot back in to Brick Break the Snorlax, take a knockoff and Pyro Ball the Rillaboom with Ace, and use Wicked Blow to take out the Pincurchin with one shot. We then beat some trainers in Team Yell again, and our bike unlocks Jesus mode. We then spend a while collecting Diglett. Bringing our total to 148. 3 left. 2 in the Soothing Wetlands and 1 in the Pop Bomb Desert. We claim Squeaky the Legend from the Diglett guy before resuming our search for the final 3. 3, 2, 1. We finally successfully found all these little guys. As a reward for our efforts, we claim our very own Alolan Diglett from the Diglett guy. We name the Diglett Montage and finally move on from this quest line. We do some grinding through Route 9 and watch as Squeaky evolves into Torracat. But we're not done with the route yet, so that's followed by, you guessed it, more grinding. Once we arrive at Spikemuth, the place where Team Yell comes from, it's blocked off. Now who would have done that? Luckily, Marnie, the gym challenger from Spikemuth who has an army of Sims named Team Yell, is showing us a secret way in. But uh-oh, we need to battle her to get in. And look who shows up from the secret entrance, Team Yell. Look, while this makes sense and is very in character for Team Yell to do, you just gotta wonder what Piers and Marnie think of this Anyways, Marnie's Lightbird Nasty Pots, we Brick Break to take it out, and we Brick Break the Scrafty. Marnie then sends in Toxicroak, to which we send in Dreamy and get hit with a Sucker Punch, but one-shot the Dark-type trainer's Pokemon who's 4 times weak to Psychic for some reason. We then send one shot back in to Brick Break the Morpeko to its demise, winning the battle. After the battle, Montage evolves into Dugtrio. We then arrive at the Spikemuth, and after that, I'll let the footage speak for itself. You know, with how great this game is, it really takes a while to buy drinks. But that's just being really nitpicky. This game is still great, I swear! I mean, look, you can sit! Can't do that in Scarlet and Violet. We easily sweep through the Spikemuth gym, learning that Team Yell is just a bunch of Spikemuth gym trainers being simps. We then begin the battle with Pierce, who has an epic battle theme. His Scrafty hits us with a fake out, but a close combat takes it out. We then watch his Obstagoon use Obstruct, unknowing that Unseen Fist makes the move useless. We then send an Arctic to hit the Malamar with a Dazzling Gleam, getting hit with a Psycho Cut, but another Dazzling Gleam finishes it off. Pierce then sends in Skuntank, who uses Sucker Punch as we hit it with an Aurora Beam. Rinse and repeat until the hail takes Skuntank out, earning us the Dark Badge. We then head out to Route 9, finding Leon. Then, some more plot stuff happens and Leon takes out a Dynamax Pokemon. After that, we enter a fight with a random NPC, which I just have to show you. I was planning on grinding up my team for the Raihan battle, but I didn't expect this. So we went back in with Ace and immediately broke his kneecaps. After we took down the old man, we run into Hop, Leon, Sonia, and Magnolia. Also, wow, what an impressive building. We then do a ton of grinding to prepare for the final gym. After some grinding, it's time for the 8th and final gym. We freeze dry the first trainer's Pelipper, and tank a Dragon Pulse from and Dragon Hammer his Sliggoo. The second trainer Shell Traps and burns our Executor, while we Ancient Power the Ninetales and hit the Turn-Air with a Dragon Hammer, receiving damage from the Shell Trap. Ninetales takes out Mix and Match with a Flamethrower, and Ostrich hits Turn-Air with a second Dragon Hammer before taking a Rock Tomb. We then Wicked Blow the Ninetales, taking it out, and Dragon Hammer the Turtonator, taking it out. We Ancient Power the third trainer's Abomasnow as she Brick Breaks with Hakamaro. Ostrich counters with an Extra Sensory, but our team is then hit by a Blizzard. Another Ancient Power hurts the Abomasnow, but Ostrich falls to a Dragon Claw, and Abomasnow hits us with a Razor Leaf. Snowball comes in and takes down the Abomasnow with a Fury Cutter, as Mix and Match finishes off the Hakamaro with a Freeze Dry. After that, it's time to take on Raihan. Flygon hits us with a Breaking Swipe, but quickly falls to Mix and Match's Freeze Dry. Gigalith then gets hit by Ostrich with Giga Drain, taking the turn to set up Stealth Rock. Sandaconda comes in and uses Protect as Ostrich uses Giga Drain to take out Gigalith. Ryan Gigantamaxes his Duraludon, but we stay in with no Dynamax of our own. Max Knuckle hits Mix and Match hard, and Glare paralyzes it. Dragon Hammer does almost nothing to the Skyscraper, but Freeze Dry does more than half of Sandaconda's health. Ryan G-Max depletes Ostrich to its demise, and Mix and Match is too paralyzed to move. We send an Arctic to change the lever to our favor and hit Duraludon with an Aurora Beam. But then Arctic falls to Max Steel Spike with Mix and Match being paralyzed once again, and Duraludon's Gigantamax ending. We Dynamax Snowball and hit Duraludon with a Max Hailstorm. However, it takes out Mix and Match with a Stone Edge, and Sandaconda does major damage with Earth Power. We send in Cubchoo and take out Duraludon with a Max Hailstorm, but Snowball falls to a Fire Fang by Sandaconda. Luckily, Cubchoo's Freeze Dry takes the Sandaconda out, earning us our final gym badge. Sonia and Magnolia then show up, and Sonia becomes the professor. We then redesign ourselves a little bit and meet up with Hop. We then battle our way through Route 10 to get to Winden. Thanks to this, we've completed all non-story trainer battles in the game. Once we get to Winden, we buy some clothes fit for a future champion. We prepare our final team as you can see here. And head over to Winden Stadium. Our first battle is against Marnie. Lightbird goes down with no note, but we get hit with a Swagger by Scrafty. Luckily, we don't get confused and switch out one shot after taking it out. Toxic Rogue hits Dreamy with a Sucker Punch, but a Psychic takes it out. We then send one shot back in to absolutely delete the Morpeko. We Dynamax Snowball as Marnie Gigantamaxes Grimmsnarl, and we hit it with a Max Steel Spike. Grimmsnarl counterattacks with a Max Starfall, but it does very little, and another Max Steel Spike takes it out. We then take on Hop. We easily take care of the Double and Snorlax with one shot, burn the Corviknight with Ace, stop Big Tantrum the Pinkerton with Volbeat, and do it again. We then send in Cinderace for the finale. We Gigantamax Cinderace, use G-Max Fireball, and win the battle. Next stop, the finals. After the tournament, we get interviewed, make some passive-aggressive comments, and get ditched by the champion. Piers then appears, and the plot really begins as we create a ruckus. However, Oleana gets in the way, her devotion to the chairman really becoming a problem. We then gaslight, mess around, deny the right to privacy, and death metal our way to getting the key to Rose Tower. We then rush through the grunts in Rose Tower with some epic music playing. It's then time to face the furious Oleana and her absolute banger of a battle theme. We take out the Frostlass with one Pyro Ball, then switch into Punk for the Milotic. It sets up Aqua Ring, but Overdrive does most of its health. It then uses Recover. We're gonna be here forever, aren't we? Luckily not, as another Overdrive takes it out. That was close to being an absolute nightmare. We then switch into Slowking for the Salazzle. She hits us with a Venom Shock, but Liquidation takes it out. It's then back to Ace for Zarina, who's taken out by a Pyro Ball. We then send in Dreamy for Darvoder, who Oleana Gigantamaxes. We respond by Dynamaxing Dreamy, and she hits us with a Max Rock Ball, but we counter with a Max Mindstorm, taking her down to the red, for her own Sandstorm to finish her off. Thus, we win the battle and head up to the chairman. We then see a beautiful image, and watch Rose's impatience trump Leon's. Honestly, the city's quite beautiful at night. It really makes you think, does Rose believe what he's about to do is the right thing, or does he too have some doubt? Anyways, the next evening, we prepare for the finals. Even as Hawk tries to talk to me, Rose's words from last night just won't leave my mind. Ah well, I just hope that he and Leon know what they're doing. By the way, I'm surprised there hasn't been an apocalyptic level event yet. Isn't that a standard for Pokemon games? Let's make this quick. We begin the finals with a fight against Speed. We overdrive the Mawile, Ironhead the Gardevoir, get hit with a Dazzling Gleam by Rapidash, and counter with Metal Claw. After tanking another Dazzling Gleam, another Metal Claw takes out the Rapidash. We then Dynamax Snowball as Speed Gigantamax's Hatterene. We hit her with a Max Steel Spike, but fall to a Max Flare. Luckily, One Shot can finish the job with an Ironhead. We then battle against Nessa. We overdrive the Golisopod and then get hit with a Drill Run by Barraskewda, dealing a lot of damage. However, we're able to take it out with Overdrive. We then switch in Bulby for Seeking, whom a Petal Blizzard easily takes care of. We then give Snowball a shot to use Rollout on the Pelipper. Now, as much as I'd like to go into what happened while this Pelipper was on the field, it was way too much. So just know it took 4 more rollouts to take it out thanks to this roosting little... At least we didn't miss any, or that would have taken a lot longer. We then send Bulby back in as Nessa sends in Dreadnought. We both Gigantamax, and Bulby uses G-Max Vine Lash, one-shotting Dreadnought. Next up is B. B's Hawlucha uses Bounce, but we counterattack with a Psychic. Surfetch takes Dreamy out with a Leaf Blade, so we send in One Shot. One Shot uses Aerial Ace to clean up B's Surfetch and hit her Phalanx, who counters with a Rock Tomb. However, Aerial Ace is able to finish it off before it can land another attack, and then hits her Graplocked. She then uses Octolock, but another Aerial Ace finishes Graplocked off. She then sends in Machamp and we both Dynamax. A Max Airstream hits the Machamp, but she hits us with a G-Max Cheese Strike, and it hits hard. Thankfully, another Max Airstream finishes Machamp off. It's then time to take on Raihan, our final match before Leon. We start by using Dig on Raihan's Torkoal as it tries to go for a one-turn Solar Beam thanks to Drought. After we hit the Dig, the one-turn Solar Beam hits us and does half our health. We dig again, dodge a Yawn, and hit the Dig only to be hit by another one-turn Solar Beam. A third Dig is all it takes to take Torkoal out. We then send in Snowball to handle the Goodra. Icicle Spear almost takes it out, but another one finishes it off. Turtonator sets up a Shell Trap, and since we forgot to switch, we use Rollout and watch Snowball
get absolutely wiped out.
Punk's Boom Burst then takes out Turtonator. We then send in Venusaur for Flygon, who uses Sandstorm, and hit Raihan with a Petal Blizzard. We tank an Earthquake and use another Petal Blizzard to take Flygon out. We then switch into One Shot for the Duraludon, both Dynamaxing. We both use Max Knuckles, and our second takes out the building. After defeating Raihan, it's time for the final fight against Leon. However, it looks like Rose is starting the darkest day and needs our help to contain it. So, after a quick lore recap, we do the only rational thing and pray to some random illusion doggos. After rushing through the slumbering wells, we find said illusion doggo's shrine. The scenery is so serene. Anyways, we pick up the rusted sword while Hop takes the shield. We then head over to the Central Apocalypse in Hammerlock. In the stadium, Oleana is having a mental breakdown and now truly sees what Rose's plan could result in. We are then off to face Rose, but I can't help but think again. Rose may be in the wrong, but he's doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. He truly believes in Leon's ability to capture and control this thing. But unlike what Rose thinks, the ends don't justify the means. However, as the battle rages on, I end up seeing that Rose has somewhat of a point. Given I disagree with him on the execution, his plan doesn't seem all that bad if it was just at a more opportune time with everyone being able to focus on containing Eternatus. Rather, now that he's already done the worst of his plan and there's no changing that, I feel the urge to actually help him. After all, he technically wants to take down Eternatus too. So as long as he doesn't force me to be the one to catch Eternatus, I'm fine with his plan. Or at least this part of it. But before I can remedy the situation, I've already taken down all of his Pokemon. However, after the battle, he also seems to have realized that we're now both on the same side. Sure, he caused the Darkest Day, which should have him end up in jail, but given Galar's tolerance for crime, he probably won't. He summoned it to have it be stopped and controlled for usage as energy. But before I can fully wrap my head around this plot to make Leon the hero while Rose bears the load of being the villain in the eyes of people, Rose tells me to go forth and help Leon stop Eternatus. Once we arrive, we realize Leon had used his Master Ball on a random Rookity, and now we have to fight Eternatus. We try to use Bounce with Ace, but misses, and Eternatus hits us with a Dynamax Cannon. We try Bounce again, this time hitting, but fall to another Dynamax Cannon. We send in Dreamy, and what do you know, another Dynamax Cannon. Eternatus must really know how good this move is. At least Psychic does major damage. Eternatus' next Dynamax Cannon takes out Dreamy. We send in Snowball and go for Icicle Spear, tanking a Dynamax Cannon. The Icicle Spear takes out Eternatus, but unfortunately, it has a second phase. We can't use moves, so we pull out the rusted weapons, summoning the heroes. With the help of their legendary weapons, they turn into their crowned forms. Zacian howls, Zamazenta uses Light Screen, Eternatus Max Wormwind's Ace, we use Bounce, and Hop uses Double Edge. Zacian uses Behemoth Blade, Zamazenta uses Behemoth Bash, Eternatus Max Flare Zamazenta, we hit our Bounce, and Double uses Double Edge again. Now I'm gonna be honest, while this battle is one of the coolest in the entire series, it's not really good content to watch or explain, so I'll just skip straight to the end. Eventually, after a long and hard-fought battle, Dreamy finishes off Eternatus with a Psychic. We can't choose to not catch it, but luckily, we don't have any Pokeballs. Oh, there's a failsafe. Hop insists that we must catch it, despite not having caught a single Pokemon this entire run. Well, except for that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We knew the answer was no from the start, and the fate of Galar is on the line. So I guess there's nothing left to do but take the shot. One shake, 2, 3, and it's caught! The Galar region has been saved! And we black out. We wake up in the hotel and find that Rose apparently turned himself in. I can't believe the only way criminals in Galar face punishment for their actions is if they actively turn themselves in. That's so stupid. Apparently, our match with Leon is today, which we didn't know about due to the whole being unconscious thing. This is why I don't catch Pokemon. However, before the fight, we have a few things to take care of first. We rehome Eternatus and screw over Galar in 1,000 years. But who knows, you may see it in a future challenge. Or not. After that, it's time to grind for the final battle. Don't worry, I spared you from having to watch me do max race for about an hour or two. Here we are, the final battle with Leon. We Pyro Ball Aegislash with Ace, taking it out. We send in Snowball for Haxorus, tanking the Earthquake and swiftly taking it out with an Icicle Spear. We then switch into One-Shot for Dragapult. Dragon Breath paralyzes us, but a Wicked Blow easily breaks through it and takes down the Dragapult. We send back an Ace for Mr. Rime and take it down with Pyro Ball. We then send in Bulby for the Inteleon, getting our stats weakened by Tearful Look, but hitting the Petal Blizzard. Leon full restores as we use Petal Blizzard once again. Inteleon cries one more time before the third Petal Blizzard takes it out. We send in Punk, Leon Gigantamaxes Charizard, and we Gigantamax Punk. Time for our secret weapon to finally enter the ring. Max Rockfall hits us, setting up a Sandstorm, but we retaliate with a G-Max Stun Shock. We chip away at Charizard's health with the Sandstorm and the poison resulting from G-Max Stun Shock. However, Leon's next G-Max Wildfire manages to take Punk out. Luckily, lightning can strike thrice. With that, we win the battle. We win the battle. We did it! We beat Leon! We're now the champion of Galar. My heart won't stop pounding. We did it! We beat Pokémon Sword without catching Pokémon. It was awesome to replay through a game that gave me so many memories, and is honestly pretty good despite its flaws. However, it did take a while, mainly due to procrastination and other stuff going on in my life. I actually started this and the Pikmin challenge one day apart. I don't know which I started first though. I finished the first Pikmin video in 2 weeks. This took 3 months. And the funniest part? I actually finished recording the second Pikmin challenge video 5 days before I finished this one. I just wanted to get this video uploaded first. So yeah, I've been working on this and several other videos, so have fun seeing those soon. Also, let me know if you want to see me do the post games for the main story and the Isle of Armor, as well as the Crown Tundra.